What sounds like good advice but isn't? Want that job? Just keep calling to check on the position. It ingrains you in the hiring manager's mind and makes them consider you more when your resume makes it to the top of their stack. How it really works. The manager goes through the stack of resumes, finds yours, and throws it out. Then sends you a polite rejection email. You're meant to think the squeaky wheel gets the grease. But in reality, they just replace the wheel. Marry a doctor so you can live a better life. My parents were never like this, but I had aunts and uncles who would tell their kids this regularly. My wife married a doctor when I was still in college. 13 years ago. I'm finishing training next year with $450k in debt and have spent the last 8 years working 60-90 hours weeks. It's a sweet life, man. Great advice. Especially if it's just for the money. Just do what you love. It sounds great, but a lot of people aren't good at what they love. If you get a job doing what you love, you will never work another day in your life. Pretty quick way to murder all your favorite hobbies. And leave yourself with no means of escape or unwinding in your personal time. Happened to me when I transitioned from meditative painting to freelance artist. Biggest advice I give to aspiring artists, especially those who love drawing all day long and do nothing else. Before going into art full time, find a love for something completely unrelated to it. Being bullied? Just ignore them. Just be yourself. At heart. This isn't bad advice. But it is too vague to really be useful to someone who needs it. Better put, be cognizant that you want to make a good impression. But don't do it in a way that misrepresents who you are or makes you uncomfortable. Always stick with family. Blood is thicker than water. Just because someone is blood related doesn't mean you should keep them around. Try everything at least once. For the 100th time, I'm not gonna blow you, dude. Any advice that doesn't include nuance is bad advice. Any advice followed without honest self-assessment is bad advice. Nothing is more important than family. If you enjoy your family and they support you, great advice. Otherwise, pretty much says you're stuck with abuse. Live each day like it's your last. See? Dying people can do this because they don't have to deal with the consequences of their actions. You do. Edit. Thanks for the awards. I'm somebody who survived what I thought was a heart attack. You would think that my brush with mortality would make me think that time is precious. And it is, but looking at how people die even in developing countries, it's bad advance. To my inbox. Never give up. Sometimes you do need to give something up, emo. Edit. OMG, thank you kind Redditors for all the awards and upvotes. That which doesn't kill you. Yeah. Sometimes what doesn't kill you makes you a quadriplegic. Talk to HR. They want to help you. HR is there to protect the company, not the worker. That's why it's called human resources and not employee satisfaction. It's not resources for employees. The employees are the resource. What's best for you as a person isn't always in sync with what is in the company's interest. Calm down. To be fair, calming down would actually help. Near always. Telling someone to calm down. Less so. Trust your feelings. Dangerous so-called advice. As someone with anxiety, I often have to fight against my own feelings. Or rather, to keep them from controlling me. Not that our feelings don't matter or that they're never correct. However, they can and often will be extremely deceptive. And going based on your emotions alone isn't wise. Sometimes, the answer is outside yourself, not inside. I can't tell you how many times my mother has had to help me keep different situations in perspective. Never give up. Know when to give up. Don't go to bed angry with your significant other. Sometimes you just need to sleep on things and take time to cool down. Especially if you're like me and grouchy AF when you're tired. Don't try to force a resolution to a conflict. Just be positive. Instructions unclear. Forgive and forget. Always forgive. But forgetting only tells the person that you don't value yourself enough to not allow it to happen again. So no. I will forgive you and remember how you screwed me over. So that you can't do it to me again. I hear some people say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But I've seen the nearly killed and that just couldn't be much wronger. Stop crying. Crying doesn't solve the problem. Don't be a quitter. There are definitely times when you should quit. Eat all the food on your plate. My mom stopped using the starving kids in Africa line when I told her to box it up and send it to them. I got my butt whooped and grounded for probably longer than necessary, but she didn't use that line again. So, win? Follow your dreams. This one hits home for me. I was a hobbyist baker for years and finally decided to follow my dreams and quit my job to start a bakery. Turns out, baking bread at my leisure from the comfort of my home is much different than getting up at 2:00 AM to bake bread just so I can keep the lights on. Marry your best friend. Not someone you're passionate with, because passion fades. You'll be comfortable. And that's what really matters. Which is all well and good. Until you realize 5 years down the line that your sex life sucks and your partner has found someone they are passionate with. Now you're out 5 years. A best friend. And a partner. The truth is, there's no right answer to this. Marry the person you want to be with. If you want passion, get passion. You want comfort, get comfort. Just make sure you're on the same page with your partner. The problems start when people think their spouse or partner is supposed to be their everything. Like, no. By all means get married. But keep a circle of friends and acquaintances. Wear 2 condoms for double the protection. Do work you love. Should be. Do work that doesn't kill you and pays the bills. Broke. Just be yourself. Woke. Hard work pays off. My dad has worked hard his whole life. Ask him if that's all it takes. Love conquers all. Don't get me wrong. Love is very important. But love is the common denominator all your persisting romantic relationships should have. A relationship isn't special just because you love the other person or they love you. Just because you love someone or they love you doesn't mean you have to, or should, put up with their bull or worse. If you don't employ your head and heart in equal measure, it's going to be a difficult life. Just be yourself. This works only if yourself is socially acceptable or not awkward. Let me tell you about this timeshare. Great investment. Think about all the money you'll save on vacation. Buying a home? Make sure you buy the home of your dreams. The biggest, most updated one you can't afford. You only live once. Can't find what you live within your budget? Well, buy a hole at your budget limit and flip it. Of course. Don't include maintenance, incidentals, or a safety net into your exercise. There's so many more. Adulting, in the US at least, sucks. It's a minefield of bad or outdated advice and outright scams. It's exhausting. Listen to your parents, for they know what's best for you. To anyone with mental health issues, just get over it. It's all in your head. I know, bitch. Basically any advice from before 2000 about the job market. Call to follow up an application. Algorithms and application bots weed you out the second you turn an app in. Loyalty to the company and dependability will pay off in the future. Usually just means you will get more responsibility for minimum raises. Job hopping looks bad on resumes. Many companies don't care. And in reality it's the only way to achieve upward mobility and wages. Do extra work to be noticed and rewarded. Usually any extra hours will result in cutting hours on later days to avoid having to pay overtime or give bonuses. Do what you love and you will never work a day in your life, unless you are very, very lucky. It is much smarter to find something that will allow opportunity and good pay. If you don't tell your partner absolutely everything, then you don't have a good relationship. A good relationship is when you both have secrets and none of you care about them. Wear a fedora to make yourself look more attractive. Fedoras work for people if they A. Have an outfit that matches. Not sweaty track pants. B. Are reasonably physically attractive to start with. The majority of stuff posted on our life pro tips. Don't let it bother you. You're entitled to your emotions and expressing them in a healthy way is paramount to good mental health. Hang in there for people with depression. Come on. Don't be sad. Thanks, Diane. I would have never thought of that. I'm cured. Even worse. When they start listing things you should be grateful or happy for. You can only die once. But can you really die twice? To help combat coronavirus, add some ammonia to bleach for cleaning solution that will kill 100% of the virus and other germs. I always love to start the day off with a fresh glass of mustard gas. Treat people the way you want to be treated. No. Treat people the way they want to be treated. As an introvert, this took me an embarrassingly long time to work out. Listen to your elders. Respect your elders. Not all elders deserve to be respected. Just do you. You should open up to people more. Marry a rich person. The key to having great conversations is asking a lot of questions. People love talking about themselves. I was sat next to an acquaintance I barely knew at a dinner event. I wanted to be friendly and make conversation. So I asked a lot about his work, his travels, and so on. At one point he said, not jokingly, "So what is this? An interrogation?" I stopped talking to him after that, but I also learned a lesson. Go to college so you'll get a good job with benefits. Treat others like you would want to be treated. Actually, we should respect that others may want to be treated differently than we would. One I hear people say a lot on Reddit is, respect isn't given, it's earned. Which sounds good and principled, but practically it isn't great advice. I'll teach my kids that you respect everyone by default and it's theirs to lose. Housework can wait. They won't be small forever and then you'll wish you'd spent more time playing and less time cleaning. Lovely thought, Karen. But eventually I'ma need clean pants and I'd prefer not to have moldy plates in the kitchen cause I think social services might get a bit judgy on that one now. But thanks for the added motherhood guilt. Always be honest and say frankly what you think. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. SMH. Help yourself. Except on candy bowls on Halloween. Then this is excellent advice. My good paper sign bro. I most certainly will. You shouldn't care about other people's opinions. Well, you should care enough to be a better person. Don't judge a book by its cover. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Be seen and not heard. Dude. I can't even be seen. I had an automatic door close on me while I was wearing a reflective vest. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. Full stop. Full stop. Violence is never the answer. God never gives you more than you can handle. Save it for a rainy day. I used to take this too literally. Like I was being selfish for enjoying something now instead of saving it for later. For example, I would do stupid stuff like delay using coupons for free items or experiences. Because I felt it was more mature and disciplined to save the treat for later. Eventually and inevitably, the coupon would expire. Another silly example would be not opening a good bottle of wine. Like I didn't deserve it now and it would be smarter to save it for some abstract time in the future. Please listen to some words of wisdom from an old timer. The past is history. Tomorrow a mystery. All we have is the present moment. And it's called the present because it's a gift. I'm not saying don't think about the future. Plans are good. Just remember to treat yourself along the way. Success is a journey. not a destination. Sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. Nope. You don't. Sometimes you do. But most times you don't. You can do anything if you work hard enough. Meritocracy is such BS because it overlooks all the advantages some get in life. If you don't want the boys to bother you, don't dress like a mess. If you didn't want to be harassed, why did you bring those tits with you? Yes, obvious. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Sad. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will leave psychological wounds that never heal. Verbal abuse is a thing. Nancy. Just do it. Especially bad advice when being faced with an illicit substance. Buy gold and silver. Dumb us. Smoking? Just stop. Depressed? Just laugh. Playing video games too much? Just turn it off. Don't follow that advice. Get thee out of my house. I could go on, but my parents track what I post and I don't want them to beat me. Follow your heart. My heart is a jerk and love means nothing when the person you love is abusive. Also at 6 AM my heart says quit your job. Healthcare and money is not important. Stay together for the kids. You should smile more. You're fine the way you are. No, you're not. Nobody is. You should never stop trying to be better than you already are. If you're fat, depressed, miserable, weak, plateaued, addicted, anxious, unsuccessful, or aimless, then you're not fine the way you are, and never let anyone convince you otherwise. Honesty is the best policy. Are best to come clean if arrested and you'll get a break for being cooperative. Source: criminal defense attorney. Keep your trap shut. Tilting your head back when you have a bloody nose. It may seem like it'll just keep you from losing more blood, but nope. The blood actually slides down your throat and it can cause you to start choking and drowning on your own blood. Never go to bed angry at your partner. Bull, it's okay to say that you are upset and just need some rest. Sleeping on something that you are upset about can help ease tension and prevent you from saying something more emotionally charged than you would like. Just do it. Or sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Semicolon. If you leave a little bit early, do as I say, not as I do. Except there's many times this applies just fine. If I've been doing something for 30 years and I'm extremely good at it, the way I do it and the way you should be doing it to learn aren't the same. If I'm teaching you, I won't be getting you to do things how I do them. I'll be teaching you the correct way. Then as you get more experienced you can decide for yourself how you'd like to change things up. But for now, do as I say, not what I do. Isn't there a word for that? Hypocrisy?